Have you ever wondered what happens to the prayers you do not speak out loud? The tears you swallow before anyone can see them fall? The heavy, suffocating silence of an empty room when the world has asked far too much of you. There are moments in this life when the human soul feels entirely, unbearably alone. A quiet room, a heavy heart, a grief so deep and hollow that no human words can ever reach it. In those exact moments of absolute darkness, have you ever noticed who is sitting beside you? Not a human with empty advice, not a voice telling you to be strong, but a silent shadow, a steady breath, a pair of warm, ancient eyes looking up at you from the shadows. We call them pets. We buy them collars, we give them names, we open our front doors to them, and we tell ourselves that we chose them. What if we have it all entirely wrong? What if they were sent? What if the creator of this universe looked down at your fragile, easily broken human heart and realized it needed a guardian? Not a guardian for your physical body, a protector of your mind, a shepherd for your soul. Look into their eyes. Truly look. Past the playful energy, past the fur, past the wagging tail. There is a profound, silent wisdom looking back at you. A spirit that does not judge your mistakes. A presence that does not care about your bank account, your failures, your social status, or the ugly scars you hide so desperately from the rest of the world. Humans demand perfection. Every single day, you put on armor to face a society that requires you to earn love, to prove your worth, to constantly negotiate your place in their lives. But a dog is the closest physical manifestation of divine grace we will ever experience on this earth. Think about the hardest days you have ever survived. The days when the world crashed down around your shoulders. The nights you locked the bedroom door, collapsed onto the floor, and quietly shattered into pieces because the weight of living was simply too heavy. You didn't want to be seen. You didn't want to be touched. Human words felt hollow. The world felt terrifyingly cold. But who stepped into the stillness? They didn't ask you to explain your sadness. They didn't judge your tears. They didn't tell you to smile, or to move on, or to get over it. They simply walked into the shadows with you. They lowered their heavy body against yours, pressing their warmth into your shivering frame, and anchored your soul back to the earth. They breathed when you couldn't. They took your panic, your sadness, and your silent screams. They absorbed them right into their own chest. Why do you think God made them unable to speak? Perhaps it is because words are the very tools humans use to lie, to manipulate, to betray. By stripping them of human language, the universe ensured that their love could only be expressed in absolute, undeniable truth. A resting chin on your knee, a soft sigh in the quiet of the night. A silent shadow following you from the kitchen to the hallway, terrified to let you face the silence of an empty house alone. Have you ever noticed how they wait for you? You leave the house for a few hours. To the rest of the world, you are just an ordinary person going to work, running errands, completely replaceable in the grand scheme of society. To the creature waiting behind the glass of your front window, you are the sun. You are the sky. You are the precise, beating center of the universe. They put their entire existence on pause. They sit in the stillness, filtering through the chaotic noise of the city, listening for one specific familiar rhythm, the exact sound of your footsteps. When you finally open that door, the explosion of joy you see is not just excitement. It is absolute, overwhelming relief. Their world is safe again. But hidden within this beautiful, divine design is a tragedy, a haunting question that breaks every human heart, a pain that leaves us staring at the ceiling in the middle of the night, wiping tears from our eyes. Why is their time with us so mercilessly short? Why does a creature composed entirely of pure love have a lifespan that is merely a fraction of our own? Why do we get 80 years while they only get a fleeting decade? It feels cruel. It feels like an agonizing flaw in the universe. To give us a comfort so deep, only to take it away in the blink of an eye. But in the spiritual realm, this is not a mistake. It is a sacred, heartbreaking sacrifice. You see, humans are born flawed. We need decades of heartbreak, mistakes, and painful lessons to figure out how to be kind, how to forgive, how to love without condition. We take a lifetime to learn how to be good. Dogs do not. They are born already knowing how to love completely. They arrive on this earth spiritually complete. They don't need 80 years to learn loyalty. They don't need decades to understand grace. Their incredibly short lives are not a punishment. They are a profound, fleeting gift. They burn so fiercely, giving away every single ounce of their energy, their warmth, and their spirit to heal you. They act as a living, breathing vessel for your invisible grief. They absorb the heavy sorrow of the human world just to keep your soul clean. When their fragile bodies finally grow tired, when the muzzle turns white, when their eyes grow cloudy, their once boundless steps slow down to a gentle, careful limp, they are simply preparing to return to the source. Their mission is complete. They came to save you when you were drowning, and they only leave when they know you are finally strong enough to swim on your own. Even in their final days, when their breathing is shallow and their bones ache, they will still try to lift their heavy head when they hear your voice. They will still try to thump their tired tail against the floor, because even at the very edge of eternity, their only concern is making sure you are okay. And when that agonizing day finally arrives, when you hold them in those final, devastating moments, and you make the hardest, most selfless decision of your life to let them go, the house will suddenly feel impossibly large, unbearably quiet, and suffocatingly empty. When you find their stray hair woven into your coat collar months later, or stumble across their old toy pushed deep under the couch, you fall apart all over again. Listen to me very carefully. That agonizing, chest-crushing pain you feel, do not run from it. Do not suppress it. That grief is a holy thing. It is the receipt for a miracle. It is the exact price of a love that was completely, undeniably pure. You hurt that deeply because you were touched by something divine. Grief is simply love that has no physical place to go. They leave a gaping hole in your chest because they took a piece of your heart with them to keep it safe on the other side. In return, they left a massive, shining piece of their own spirit permanently etched into your soul. You are softer now. You are kinder. You are a better human being because they walked beside you for a little while. So, if there is a faithful shadow resting peacefully at your feet right now, or if there is an empty collar sitting on your shelf holding the memory of a ghost you still miss every single day, understand this: you were not just lucky to find them. They were not just a random coincidence in the chaotic timeline of your life. They were not an accident. You were chosen. God knew you would be hurt by this world. He knew you would be betrayed, lonely, and lost in the dark. He knew there would be days when you could not carry the weight of your own life. So, he disguised an angel in fur. He gave it 4 paws, a wet nose, a heartbeat that syncs perfectly with yours, and a soul entirely devoted to your existence. They were never just an animal. They were never just a pet. They were a rescue mission for your soul. And even now, from wherever they are, in the quiet stillness of the morning light, or the soft shadows of the evening, they are still watching over you, silent, faithful, eternal.